in a healing process, as I'm actually growing and learning and healing, because I too have my own journey and my own process to go through. And I mean, I'm in the midst of it. So as I share my messages, these are things that I just encounter, things that I learn, and it really puts a light bulb for me and activates the work that needs to be done. So I definitely do the inward part when I bring my messages out. Definitely enlightens me and helps me to grow more. So a lot of times, I'm realizing today, I'm watching and I'm seeing different transitions as I'm trying to grow. I want to learn more. I want to be better, right? And you look to people and different things and connections, and you say, wow, how did you get there? Or, you're watching people to see, how you can be better, and in some connections, you might see better, but you might be experiencing the same thing you've always experienced. It's just masked differently, So in this healing process, it's very essential that we don't use things to cover up who we used to be. Like, I'll give you a story. I was actually doing some work yesterday. I had I was honored with the privilege of being able to do my pastor's hair, as it's her birthday, and we've grown a great relationship, and she trusts me, right? And of course, that is, for me, I don't take that for granted. I take that to heart. Like, it's not something that I rave about, or I'm going to post her, or that's sacred for me, so that's just my process and how I receive it. So as she comes to get her hair done and we're connecting, one of my sisters of Christ, reaches out to me, and she wants to, speak to me or whatever. So I reach back out to her and I say, hey, how you doing? I'm getting ready to let her know where I'm at, but I wanted to acknowledge her that she asked for the call, and I would get back to her. I would give her a moment, but we would talk later. So I say, hey, I know you called me. Is everything okay? When I'm finished doing what I'm doing, I'll get back to you. Have a nice day, yada, yada. So my sister of Christ proceeds to, express to me some things, that she was experiencing as far as, being connected with God. And, she might have seen one of my videos, and she was just reaching out like, girl, I like what you got going on over there, and yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. So she proceeds to go into word, right? So before we come to terms with what's actually happening, because like when you connect to people, you say, hey, how you doing? Are you busy right now? What's going on? Before you dive in, right? I think that's the respectable thing to do, to acknowledge people where they're at, so how much time you have, as people have lives and things that are going on. So before I was even able to express what was actually happening, she decided to go into word. And of course, I have these people entertaining. I'm trying to get them situated so we can get the process going. They got the baby. So I'm saying, hey, get the juice, get the milk, I got sodas, I got bread, I got chicken, get what you want, get in the kitchen. And she's on speaker, and as I'm telling the baby, hey, go in the kitchen, she says, who are you talking to? And I was like, oh, well, actually, I'm here with the pastor. I'm getting ready to do some service for her or whatever. And she tells me, well, when I'm on the phone with you, you tell them they have to wait. Because the Spirit is talking to you. Huh? Hey, I'm sitting here with the pastor. Are you kidding me? So you're telling me that I need to dismiss and disregard what I have going on because you decided that you wanted to get into word and tell me what the Spirit said. without actually acknowledging, you know, without taking the necessary steps to connect with me properly, right? So in that moment, it was so awkward because she became so aggressive, you know, and I've been experiencing this over and over, like this aggressive energy where even with my channel and me coming out to talk to people and, you know, with the TMAU and different things that I'm talking about, bringing awareness. She was telling me that, you know, my channel is not to talk about just anything. I have to only talk about God, right? And I'm bothered by it, but, you know, as we grow, we honor, we love, and we deal with people accordingly, you know. So I don't ever want to, you know, I've expressed myself to say, hey, you know, you can't do that to me. You know, let's have some boundaries. Let's have some limits. I don't like that. You know, that's wrong. Like when you call me, maybe you need to find out what's going on with me before you decide to just jump into something. And anytime I want to communicate about something regular or just a regular conversation, the only thing that we can actually talk about is God. And it disturbs me because it's like before we got to Christ, we wasn't available. And now that we've got to Christ, we're still not available, you know, and, you know, it's this controlling bully energy, but we're using God and the devil as a reason to say why things are happening, opposed to actually dealing with the things that we need to deal with. Because when we were in the real world, we were bullying people. We were intimidating people. We were putting force on folks. And now that we're with the Lord, we're bullying people. We're intimidating folks. And we're masking why things are happening or not falling in place. Why you're being rejected. You're saying, oh, because the devil wants to come to steal, kill, and destroy. And it doesn't really have anything to do with the devil, because it's a familiar behavior that you've always had, but now you're covering up using God as an excuse why you deal with people the way that you deal with people. So if we was thugging in the streets, we thugging for the Lord now, that's not going to work, right? So did we actually heal, or are we just masking and making excuses for our actions that are not acceptable? They're not acceptable, you know, and, you know, a lot of times you want to share your goodness with people, you know, you want to connect, especially with the people that you love. You want to share your goodness with them, like, hey, you know, I finally got out there and I did my YouTube channel. I feel so good, you know, God is so good. But, you know, you may not do the Jesus, God, Father, Jesus, God, you know, you may not, in every word, you're not going to talk like that. That is not, no, no, this is not a cult. We're not under a robotic system. So we're not operating from a robotic system. We're not operating from you know, it shouldn't feel this way. It shouldn't feel so, it shouldn't be so much pressure. It shouldn't be so much, it shouldn't be that way, you know. And, you know, in this healing process, you know, we got to really deal with some real stuff and stop making excuses. You know, we got to stop doing that. We really have to deal with the things we need to do. Take the mask off. Okay. You know, if in your past life you weren't available because of what you were doing before, and then now you're using another entity for a reason why you can't show up in certain things in life, please dig a little deeper. We're not gonna, dig a little deeper. There is some more work that might need to be done, and if you think that people are rejecting you because it's the devil, it's not the devil. It's your actions. It's your part of you that have not been dealt with. You have some things to deal with, because if you're doing to people what you did before now in this new life, something else needs to be adjusted. There's some things you may need to look at and focus on, it just dawned on me last night. I was like, wow, it's the same thing. It's just masked different. You weren't available before. Now you're not available now because you're using a mask or another reason why you can't do something. I can't do something because of the Lord, just like you couldn't do something before because of that life. Like, please, deal with you. Deal with you before you deal with me or anyone else, because it's unfair for folks to have to be connected to that. Nobody wants to feel pressured or bullied or attacked in every conversation that they have. It's not fair. It's just not right. It's just not right. So are we actually healing, or are we just masking? Let's dig a little deeper. Let's do the work. Okay? Let's do the work. Let's not continue to show up as the same person, just mask a little different. Making excuses why things are happening, when actually your behavior is the reason why things are happening. Has nothing to do with any outside entities. And I mean, I'll take this word for myself as well. It's definitely made me think like, okay, Alexis, let's make sure we're digging. Okay, we're digging, because I don't want to show up as that old version, where you're still having the same experiences with me, but I just dressed up a little different, or I used something to cover up, or, I made another excuse why. It's not fair. And I really didn't like it. And for me, I will not allow myself to be subjected to that. So before you deal with me, you have to deal with you. Okay? And ain't no God, no therapy, ain't no Holy Ghost, ain't no spirit, ain't no, and listen, I'm a believer of God. God has been amazing to me. So, I'm not coming against anybody who is doing the work, who's doing God's work. I'm in it. But if I'm sitting here with the pastor, okay, and you're telling me that you believe my pastor to be an amazing pastor, she's doing great works, but in the midst of me being in her company, you're shouting and screaming about how I need to tell them to shut up and be quiet or wait a minute because you have a word. We got to dig a little deeper, okay? We got to dig a little deeper, okay? Enough is enough. We're not going to make excuses. We're not going to use God, the devil, or anything else to allow ourselves to continue to stay in that place. Because if we want to get better, and if we want to do better, and we want to connect to people, we have to deal with some things. Because by the rate that's going on that level, you're running people away. You're running them off. They're scared. I still feel the same way I felt years ago in this connection. I'm nervous. I'm intimidated. If I say the wrong word, I'm being crucified. If I don't do something the way you like it, I'm being And don't tell me that, well, God was crucified on the cross. No! Hey, cut it out. Come on now. We can do better than that. Okay? So as of me and my household and me, I will not. I will not be a part of that. So please, let's do the work, guys. Let's make sure we're digging, because we can always grow every day. Every day we can always learn something new. We can always you know, we can always adjust something new. You know, you want a workout plan and you're getting your body right. You know, your body might get nice, but you still got to maintenance it. You know, you still got to do some more work. You still got to stay fit. You still got to stay in the gym. You still got to keep reaching, right? You still got to dig and do a little bit more. It's never over. You always got some growing to do. But, you know, I think it's about time we take these masks off and actually deal with the things we need to deal with. So, that's my word for today. You make sure to subscribe, like button, comment, and your girl will be back with another video. You guys be blessed, and I will be back with another video soon.